video, all praise, honor, and glory goes unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well. Alright, as well as the sincere salutations to the elder bishops along with you brothers laboring. Alright, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, all throughout the four winds of the earth. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Akakwadash, Baraka Thumb. To you brothers. And the title of this lesson, right through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is the elect can understand everything through the spirit. Right, Lord's will, we be of the elect. Right, because everybody has these different questions as far as the scriptures, and when they ask their pastors, different people they know, there's no answers. There's absolutely no answers, right? Yet, from the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, the answers are being, revealed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right, because the only mystery that matters is the mystery of the scriptures, the mysteries that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is set up and that he's revealed to his servants, the prophets. So this is Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 1. For this cause I, Paul, the prisoner of Yahweh HaMashiach, for you Gentiles, right, which is the Israelite with the Gentile state of mind. If ye have heard of the dispensation of the grace of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is given me to youward. So Paul was, commissioned and sent out from the Lord to reveal one of the major mysteries that's in the scriptures. Who are the Gentiles? Right? Because nobody can properly answer, who the Gentiles are, except for the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down. Now, of course, when you answer that, you're going to answer that it's two types of Gentiles. You have actual Gentiles. You have those that are, not of Israel. Basically, if you have 18 nations here upon the earth, the top nation being Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, who you will call the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Right? And then you have the Gentiles. You got the heathen. Yet there's two types of Gentiles. You have Gentiles as in actual heathens, and then you have Gentiles which are Israelites in a heathenistic state of mind. Because us being in all these different captivities, and us going into captivity in these nations, basically having their way with us. Now, the Israelites are all jacked up. The Israelites are all jacked up. Now you got Israelites eating, mussels, eating, crab legs, whatever the case is. These different, and they appear like, the other nations. Some of these Israelites appear like the other nations, and you think, okay, you just walking past and you see a guy, he looks like a heathen eating a crab leg, when that could be an Israelite in a heathenistic state of mind. Because you have, and just as an example, you got, when you look at Moab, I'm gonna specifically say more so Japhet, because I grew up around more Japhites really than I did Moabites. But a lot of those guys that you think are Japhetic, they're actually Israelites. Of course, it's the same with Moab as well. You may think, a guy is a Moabite and he do a couple of things and you're like, damn, this a Jake. Perfect example, Jeremy Lin. The Lin Sanity. That's a Jake right there, man. That's one of the biggest mysteries in the scriptures is who are the Gentiles, and what's the big deal with the Gentiles? What's the what's the end all be all when it comes to the Gentiles? Right? Paul had that's a monumental task, getting Jake out of a heathenistic state of mind and turning to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right, Ephesians 3:3. How that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery, as I wrote afore in few words, whereby when ye read ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Hamashiach, and that's through the Holy Spirit. And see, that's basically the indicator of who's a Jake and who's a heathen, right? When the scriptures come about, when through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Akakodah, when these words are read, when the prophecies are gone into, when it mixes with that person, they hear those words. Is there something getting stirred up in them that's got them just coming against it? Or are they actually for these words? Because if you go over there to, Thailand, Philippines, or whatever, most people are going to say that the so-called white man is God. They'll say the image of God is the so-called white man. Yet, if this truth, and this truth is preached over there through the internet, if this truth was revealed, hey, that the Lord is a so-called black man, right? And that the 12 tribes of Israel are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that have been scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. You're going to have individuals who look like so-called Filipinos and they're actually Israelites. That's a big mystery. That's something that Jake still cannot wrap his mind around. When you think of these other camps, such as IUIC, ISUPK, WFI, so on and so forth, they still basically have a mindset that the 12 tribes of Israel are only Negroes. That essentially is what now I will give Sakari that. Sakari kind of they got, you'll see some Northern Kingdom. But as far as the other camps, they mostly just, especially ISUPK, is real big on, not knowing the mystery. They don't know the mystery. They don't know the mystery of the Gentiles. It's obvious they don't know the mystery of the Gentiles because they may point at a guy. They point at a guy who got a Germany shirt on and just yell, okay, you're, heathen. You ain't even let him come up. Then come to find out, you ask, where are you from? Who, what's the lineage of your father? He gonna say, my father is from Chile. You a heathen. Not knowing that's, you part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You got a lot of guys out in West Africa. We could go into all sorts of, regions where the Israelites are. The Israelites are everywhere. All 7 continents got Jake on it. Hell, even Antarctica. If you got 100 people in Antarctica right now studying how Antarctica works and doing all the research and all that, if you got 100 of them, you best believe at least 30 of them is Jake. At least 30, 40 of them is Jake. I wouldn't be surprised in most of them. They probably send Jake out there just because they don't want to go out there. And Jake is happy to do that. Jake is happy, to serve Esau. Okay? That's another characteristic of our people. Our people are simple. The 12 tribes of Israel, they're simple-minded people. So they're easily influenced. Right? That's why 2/3 of our people, that's why they're going to be destroyed. They were easily influenced and manipulated by E. Following E and not following the Lord. See, you following E, that's going to get you deleted. Okay? That's part of the mysteries. All right? That's part of the mysteries of the scriptures. Following this damn devil will lead to your death. All right, Ephesians 3:4 once again. Whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Hamashiach, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men. So you have certain prophecies that are known and were known, directly by the prophets, and they fully understood it. And you had certain things that weren't. So, you flash forward 2025, we at the point where we can understand, fully the mysteries of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that's why we need elder apostles, as examples, because there's a lot of things that can only be said by the elder apostles. That boldness in Hamashiach, right? Perfect example is the elder apostle Tahar speaking about how we know more than the prophets. That's something very bold to say, and we need the elder apostles in order for them to say that, right? Because if a if a guy who just came in, 2 weeks ago said that, if that was something that was revealed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to him, he not going off by saying that. That's why we have elder apostles, because there's certain bold statements that are made that really and truthfully only are going to get spoken by the elder apostles of Great Millstone, such as that statement. Right? Because we can say, as far as young brothers, we can say that that's not something that would just come out of our mouth, because we're not learned enough through the Spirit to say that. Yet the elder apostles of Great Millstone are learned enough through the Spirit to say that. Right? This knowledge, brothers in this truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we can see the things that they were speaking on. Amos, Isaiah, Jeremiah, so on and so forth. And those were mighty men. They were mightier physically, just in all aspects. It's just there were certain things that they weren't able to comprehend. And now we can comprehend all these things through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? Ephesians 3:6. That the Gentiles should be fellow heirs and of the same body. Those are the Israelites with a heathenistic state of mind. As it is now revealed unto his holy apostles and prophets by the Spirit. So it was revealed by the Spirit. It was revealed by the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. It was revealed, right, that, okay, we know more than the men that were before us. We are comprehending the things that they're writing down. No brother that's in the truth right now got a chapter written about them. We're not writing anything down. We are here to interpret and filter through these scriptures, and through the Holy Spirit, we're getting the understanding that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding passed down from those men. You know, those men had a very important, they set up, you know, the foundation for us to walk on. And the foundation that they set up upon is that rock, Yahushua. So here it is, you have a foundation that cannot move, and then you have these blocks that have been built that they cannot be moved around. They cannot be changed. Right? And it's being built up. And we're getting to the point where all this is going to be finished. Right? We're gonna see the we're gonna see the final finish, the final results. It's gonna be beautiful to see. Right? You're seeing that temple being built up before your very eyes. That's why, Lord's will, we be of the elect. All right, we can see these things are being revealed to us through the Spirit. Right? Ephesians 3 and 7. Whereof I was made a minister according to the gift of grace of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, given unto me by the effectual working of his power. So it's through the Spirit and power and grace of our Lord, right, that we are put in the position to be defenders of the gospel. And that's a gift. Cause hey, we could have got skipped over. You know, the mystery of the Gentiles could have been not revealed. You know, that's part of the grace of the Lord revealing these mysteries. He could have just kept us in the dark. He could have just kept us in the dark. Yet he revealed his light, his marvelous light. Ephesians 3 and 8. Unto me, who am less than the least of all saints. You know, so he basically saying, shit, I ain't nobody. You know, I'm just an Israelite man, right? Is this grace given? And see, that's wisdom, understanding that the Lord isn't a respecter of persons. The Lord, you know, don't give a damn if, you know, what we got, what we don't got, different accomplishments or different things that we may have done. The Lord don't care about that. The Lord cares about, well, okay, what are you going to do for him? It says Ephesians 3 and 8, continuing. Is this grace given that I should preach among the Gentiles the unsearchable riches of Hamashiach? Which, once again, that's heavy. Because although Jake has a thirst for knowledge, so to speak, Jake is fucking hard-headed. So, it's just like Jake here in America. You take the average Jake and you try to tell him anything pertaining to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He in a heathenistic state of mind. So if the spirit ain't working with him, it's impossible for him to attach to this word. You know? Like the one guy. Convince me. We ain't finna convince you. The Lord will make it. Hey, the Lord speaks about things being plain upon tables. Let's get that. That's the spirit. Habakkuk 2, and I'm going to start at 1 through the Spirit. Habakkuk 2 and 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. Yeah, so we have been put in the tower. We in a sense of safety. And so now what? Everybody mad because we in the tower. We in the tower. See, we away from them. And will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And we're understanding the mysteries. We're being, we're being edified. We're being corrected. We're here for it. We in the tower. We watching out. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So Habakkuk wrote the vision. Visions with an S. Make it plain upon tables. So this word is plain. If in the scriptures it speaks about a MOTB that you cannot buy or sell, okay, and then it's broken down through the spirit that is the sihip, then that's what it is. It's plain. Everybody tries to overcomplicate things when the scriptures are plain. If you got the eye salve, you can see it. If not, you can't. And that's where the hierarchy, comes into play. You have certain brothers who are on a certain level of understanding that's higher than another brother. That's completely fine. Each brother has his measure of faith. Each brother has his measure of understanding. And you have to trust that brother knows. If one thing is unknown, okay, and this brother knows, and okay, it's confirmed through the scriptures, and okay, he knows. We can look at him, we can lean on him. That's the perfect balance. We got the elder apostles of Great Millstone. So we can always look towards them. We can always look at the brother next to us. It should always be a thing of continuing to learn. Learn from brother. There should never be any, animosity about one brother knowing more than the other brother, or this, because it's a guy, which I think he's a Jake, but it's a guy I was watching. He was doing an interview on something. It was on some sort of world news sort of podcast sort of thing, and he was saying how it's better to be interested than interesting. Because a lot of times it's better to just learn things. Yeah, we know this, we know we know this, we know that. Yeah, it's to learn and to continue to learn and to continue to grow. Having a love for that, man. Instead of, okay, nope, I just fucking know everything. That's a dangerous place to be in. That every day we learn something new in this truth. I meditate on that every single day. Every day there's something that we get hip to that we weren't hip to yesterday. It's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. By us reading, there's something new revealed every day. But I remember what he had said. It's a lot of times it's better to be interested than to be interesting. Just hear, just hear what a brother has to say. It ain't that damn hard. Just consider what the brother's saying. I mean, shit. Because brothers want what's best for other brothers. So it ain't no big deal. We in the time where the vision is being made plain. It's being made plain. If you don't, if you're having an issue with this or that, it just may not be your forte. Ask a brother about it. And when you when you're getting on a certain level with it now, Okay, you can't go to the next brother and be, oh, you don't know. Here it is. You just learned something, 30 seconds ago. Now you looking at the next brother like, oh, you don't know about this, you don't know about that. Well, shit, You just want to come to the brother. Okay. Hey, okay, do y'all know this breakdown? Okay, boom. This means this. That means that. Because we in the position to teach and also learn. There is never a day that's going to come where we going to say, you know what? We don't need to know nothing. We full. No, it's all always, even in the kingdom, everything is going to get better and better and better and better. There will be no limit to the nation of Israel, man. We'll never say, okay, yep, that's just, we done outdid ourselves. That's it. No, forever, perfection forever. It's coming for the nation of Israel, man. All right, that's part of the vision. The Lord coming back and setting this place straight. The earth, meaning the earth, because America, aka Babylon the Great, is toast. It's going to be completely destroyed. Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So that's balance. That's balance. If you got a scale, and that old ancient scale, like how you see in front of the courthouses and whatnot, you have two sides to the scale. And when let's say you have something that weighs a pound on the right and something that weighs a pound on the left, that's an even balance. So if you have something that weighs half a pound on the right side but a pound on the left side, that's going to be an uneven balance. So the Lord got his left hand and he got his right hand. The righteous are righteous, the wicked are wicked. It's a perfect balance. These scriptures, the prophecies, everything that's happening, it's in perfect balance. Even though everything seems out of whack. This place, the America, Babylon the Great, it's a shithole. Everybody's going crazy. There's a balance to it, right? Because even though everything is flying off the rails and flying off the handles, the elect are getting sharper and sharper. So it's a balance to it. Even though it seemed like, damn, this happened in a certain way. We know that something is about to happen. We can feel it. We know, right? And we gonna keep saying it. We gonna keep saying it every year. Every year we gonna say this the year. You damn right. We gonna keep saying it. Cause we know we don't know the exact time, but we know that it's coming, right? Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming in the end of the world? Yeah, so with the Lord coming back, it's known that the end of that current age, the end of that age is over, and that the Lord is coming back, and that he's going to be set up, he's going to rule forever. That's something that we have to, constantly think about in our mind. It says in Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Yeah, so you got all these other guys saying that, okay, it ain't no end. It's, y'all need to get used to what you see. We not fucking getting used to what we see. We not getting used to this shit. We getting the fuck up out of here. That's our mindset. It's us getting beamed up out of here. You can call it what you want. Call it ridiculous. Call it crazy. Call it whatever you need to call it. But the Lord is coming back for his elect. All right? Matthew 24:5 says, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Right? That's balance. Though it tarry, wait for it. Right? It shall surely come and will not tarry. So it's a balance going on. And just like how you have a balance when you feel like them old school, when you used to go get a checkup as a kid, you used to have to sit on that balance, and the doctor would kind of tap his finger. Okay, no, we gotta go back, boom, boom, boom. But when everything is lined up and everything's floating on that little device, okay, it's got a little shakiness to it, yet at the end it always lines up perfect and nothing moves. So that's the time that we in that last little bit where it's evening up, and as soon as it gets 100, as soon as this lines up 100%, once the CHIP get to rolling, once WW3 get to popping, the Lord is going to show up and save his elect. And then we get to enjoy the kingdom. That's a whole other lesson, though. All right, so with that, Lord's will, you are edified. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors once again to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, as well as the sincere salutations to the elder bishops, and enough respect to you brothers worldwide, teaching and preaching, revealing the mysteries of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Shalom.